And we are back again. It is time to get into some baseball, wrap up the 2024 season that ended in heartbreak for me, but let's just move on. Um,
Ouch.
Al and Jordan, the unicorn, have both joined us. How you guys doing?
Excellent, man. Thank you for having me as always.
I am doing very well. A lot of exciting news in the off season, so I'm happy.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's going to really ramp up. Um, so what we're going to do is one of the themes of my podcast is always we hold ourselves accountable for everything. So we're going to go back and look at some predictions and see how well we did or not well.
Yeah, right. That's probably more appropriate. I don't even.
Now, Jordan wasn't a part of all of them. Me and Al did an entire show with all our predictions, and we got Jordan's after. But Jordan's going to fill in the blanks of the stuff that we don't have. So, Jordan, who did you have for your? Well, I mean, the MVPs are not. The awards haven't been announced yet, obviously.
Mm.
Um, but we'll go over real quick who we picked at the beginning of the year. So, Jordan, who did you have at the beginning for AL and NL MVP?
uh, NL MVP, I actually picked Harper. I thought Harper was actually gonna
Well, you
have
know
a.
what? Me and Al both also had Harper.
I
Yep.
thought Harper was gonna have a better season, and I'm trying to think who I had for my. I think actually I picked Soto to win AL, but I doubt
So
that's
did
gonna
I.
happen. Yeah.
Al had that too. I had Kyle Tucker, and he was actually on his way to doing it until he
Oh,
got hurt.
I'm sorry to interrupt. No, I remember. I had Yordan Alvarez. But I was lost with that because he got hurt. I had Yordan.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I had Tucker, and like I said, he was doing really well. I was feeling pretty good about that pick until he got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, so AL Cy Youngs, I had Pablo Lopez. Al, you had,
Corbin Burns.
yep, Burns. Jordan, do you remember your Cy Young picks?
I'm trying to remember who the heck I did. Um, I
Well,
think I.
while you're thinking of that, I had Wheeler in the National
Oh,
League, and Al, you had
um,
Strider, but you got screwed with his injury.
Yeah, totally.
no. I in NL I had Zach Wheeler, so I was with you. And then the AL, I actually got screwed as well. I had Shane Bieber. I thought Bieber was gonna have a fantastic year before he missed the whole season.
Yeah, I got burned by Pablo Lopez just not being good all of a sudden for no reason at all. He just decided to start sucking. He sucked this year.
I know that was a shocker. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so our rookies of the year were tough. Um, I had Evan Carter for one. That was a horrible pick. And then Al, you had Wyatt Langford, right?
Yes, which wasn't a whole lot better.
And I think he's a finalist, and I feel pretty good about my NL rookie pick was Jackson Churio.
Yeah, that one worked out nicely.
Isn't he a finalist for the Rookie of the Year award?
I can find out right
I,
now.
actually, the finalists haven't been announced yet. The finalists is actually going to be announced today at 6 o'clock. Uh,
Oh,
that
okay.
was that was the thing, Al, that you read on the your football podcast. That's what you read about. That's what they're doing tonight.
Oh, yes, that's right. Thank you. Yes, good call.
Yes, so
Good
they're
call.
yeah. So what they're gonna do is tonight they're gonna go over. I think it's like a 2 hour show. Each award, and they're gonna go by who's in it and who the finalists are gonna be for each league and each award.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm setting my DVR right now.
Yes, so that should be very interesting. Good, I think good choices. I don't think anyone will be really mad.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's absolutely accurate. Absolutely accurate.
Now you had Yamamoto for the NL. I'm assuming he didn't pitch enough to get there, but we'll see.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, solid
I
choice if he had been healthy, but we had a lot of those, so it is what it is.
I I had the same thing for I had
Did
Yamamoto
you?
in the yeah. I thought he was gonna be good, and then then he had that freak injury, whatever it was, for what, couple months.
Yeah, he missed a big chunk there, or he would be in this conversation definitely. I don't think he would have won. I don't think he would have beat. I mean, the odds-on favorite, I think, is Paul Skens, or how do we say his name? Skeens.
Schemes.
Skeens. Okay, Skeens.
I think I have to disagree. I actually think, and I don't. This is just my opinion. I think the dude from San Diego might get it. That Jackson.
I said Jackson Churio.
That's Jackson Merrill.
Yeah, Jackson Merrill
Oh,
is
Jackson. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
from San
Cheerios
Diego.
for Milwaukee.
Right.
Oh yeah,
Um, yeah, well, it's in Vegas. Skeens is the leading the odds on favorite at -145, and Jackson Merrill's really close at +115. So it is going to come down to the who is there a weird voter out there like a lot of years things happen because baseball writers get cute,
Yep.
which
yeah,
drives me crazy, and they should all be banned from Hall of Fame voting whenever they do something stupid.
yeah. Well, I know we're doing the awards, but actually, I took a picture. I want to know your guys' interest. But you mentioned up the Hall of Fame. They did the classic baseball era ballot
Mm.
couple weeks ago,
Hmm.
and so you get like a second chance on who has the right to go into the Hall of Fame. And it's
Yes,
actually not a bad class, in my opinion. I think everyone deserves it, but not everyone's gonna get in. But these are the nominees. You have Dick Allen.
nice. That's a big
You
one for
have
me right there.
Ken Boyer,
Who I just talked about on our third base pod.
Yep.
uh, John Donaldson.
I don't.
John Donaldson. Don't know him.
Is that Josh's
He
dad?
no, it's he played in the Negro leagues.
Oh,
They're
cool. Okay,
actually
that's
now
okay. Great.
they
That's cool.
actually I don't know if you guys remember this, but it'd be like a year ago. I think last off season they finally went on and now the Negro leagues are now gonna be part of MLB records. So do you actually have guys who for their career are now part of MLB. Like some of them are
Good.
like second place for average. So you have John Donaldson, Steve Garvey is
Nice.
Okay,
uh,
nice.
in this. You also have Vic Harris. I'm not really familiar with him.
Yeah, I don't know Vic
Uh,
Harris either.
Me neither.
yeah. Um, I probably, I mean, everyone knows his name, even if you don't know baseball. Tommy John.
Oh, heck yeah.
Uh, Dave Parker and Luis Tiant are now in the
Ooh,
Luis Tiant's not in? I thought
I
he was
can't.
already in.
Yeah, that's right.
no,
He's such a big name. I haven't examined the stats, but that does surprise me just on the surface that he's not
I
in.
yeah,
remember I remember Dave Parker.
Dave Parker was
Uh
awesome.
yeah. He had that weird the way he fielded and caught fly balls. He like stuck his ass out to the side when he
Yes,
caught the
yeah.
ball.
and
He's
then
Every
really
time.
funny.
later this month, the 2025 regular Hall of Fame ballot will be announced. But I think, in my opinion, you guys could probably disagree. I think one first ballot Hall of Famer will get in, and that's Ichiro, no doubt. I think
Oh,
he
for sure.
Yeah.
won. And then for another first ballot, I think he'll get in. I think he'll get in. I just don't think he'll get in this year. Cece.
Oh,
Yeah, he
that's a
won't
good
get
one.
I think he'll get in two, but I don't think it's this year.
Yeah, I don't think it's uh, I don't think it's the first year ballot. I
That
mean,
makes sense to me too.
he's had a phenomenal career, and then of course you still have the other guys. Like I think Andrew Jones is this is his last year,
He's a
or
really interesting case because his career was really weird. Good, but weird.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Uh,
so yeah, it's gonna be interesting with this Hall of Fame ballot, and then the other guys. I don't know. I don't think they played as much. Like I think they throw some like weird names like Dustin Pedroia. I mean, if he played more years, maybe. But yeah, otherwise,
Yes,
I don't think anyone else will get it.
that's a
I
tough one. Yeah,
agree. Can
Pedroia's a tough one.
somebody do me a favor and call up the final standings of the year?
Yeah,
Oh,
I have him. Yep, I already have him
you have
up.
him now.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, because I want to get into this.
Hmm.
All right. Jordan, I had you as picking the Yankees to finish first in the division. Is that correct?
No, I had Baltimore.
All right. So I don't know what happened. Where? Maybe I don't have your.
I mean, I remember. I could probably remember. I don't remember all of them, but I do know my first place guys that my first and second place guys I picked.
Cool.
Maybe I don't have your picks because I have you with. I have the Yankees and then Baltimore listed under your under the letter J. Who the hell else would that be? That would be you. That's
Would
weird. All right.
would
Well,
would
me
have been
and
would have been my dad? Like did maybe with like through text message?
he might. It might have been your dad. I'm not. I don't know. Well, either way, we all picked Baltimore and we were all wrong, but we all had the Yankees second. So it kind of,
Yeah.
we were right there. I mean, did you have the Yankees second, Jordan?
Oh, Robin? Oh yeah, I picked the Yankees second. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's
And
all
then,
solid. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yep. And they both made the playoffs. So, uh, um, we don't have to go into deep detail on the other guy, on the other teams. Boston was a little better than I thought they would be.
That's where we were both the most wrong, Craig, I think,
Yeah. Yep.
for that division.
Yep. Um, Anything else to add there on the AL East? Because we don't need to. We're going to talk in general in a little bit, but the details of the actual finishes, the finals, I'm good with.
Yeah, no, standings, if you want them, Yankees finished up 3 over the Orioles. Red Sox are 500. Rays a game below 500, and the Blue Jays were awful.
Yep.
I feel bad for Tampa. The stuff they're going through right now, it's insane.
Yeah. Where are they going to play? Are they going to be able to
They don't
play?
they don't know right now. Someone is saying that they might actually um go to a spring training camp. They're someone's saying that they're actually in talks with both the Yankees. I want to say the Phillies because they're one of
Clearwater.
the spring. Yeah, they're one of the most spring training stadiums that actually are kind of similar to a major league field. Um,
Well, yeah. Steinbrenner Field for Tampa is basically an exact replica of Yankee Stadium,
yeah,
just on a
so
much smaller scale.
they might actually go to one of those. Nothing has been official yet. Um,
Jordan, can I ask a question? Because you seem like you've really read up on this, and I haven't.
yeah,
How are they not able to hold their state hostage like every other baseball team in the country and get public funding?
uh, that I don't know. Well, I think they said something along the lines
Because the
that
public doesn't like the team. Nobody goes.
yeah.
That's true, but it
Well,
gets done almost
they're
everywhere
also
except like them.
spend
They're
they are.
there in Oakland.
I would say they are spending money too on building a new stadium, which I think they said is like two
Well,
3 years away.
are they going to
Uh,
build the new stadium, or are they just going to fix the roof on the old one so they can play?
well, the they said the one that to fix the roof is gonna cost them like over $30 billion just to fix the roof of the
What?
stadium. Yeah.
Might as well
Um,
build a new one.
so they're gonna build a new one. They said like 2 3 years it should be
So they're going to
ready.
go like 3 seasons without playing at Tropicana's done?
Yeah.
That's
Um,
wild. Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
I didn't know that.
I didn't
I
realize
yeah,
was
that.
under the
but
impression
but
they
the
were going
weird
to
part is
rebuild the
though,
roof.
it's in the same area as where Tropicana Field is.
Well, I'm just saying though. I thought the actual physical roof was going to get fixed. That's the
Yeah,
last thing I heard on
I
it.
mean the last thing I heard, the beat writer for the Tampa Bay Rays says it's gonna be like $30 billion just to fix that roof, and like I said, the Yankees and Phillies are the most best option for them to play. Probably until I want to say it's like 2026, 2027. That's when the new stadium is supposed to be done for the Tampa Bay Rays.
So the stadium's in the works. It's just too far away to be a factor yet. Okay.
Yeah, and then just like Tampa, not even because for the roof and all that stuff. It's also their. I know we all forgot about him. I know we all did. They're still paying Wander Franco, who's not even playing for them anymore.
That's crazy. And Wander Franco just got arrested again, by the way.
Yes,
Oh my God! Talk about
Gun
a guy
charge
just
while awaiting trial for his other awfulness. I don't know. He might never play him. He might be spend more time in prison than MLB for the rest of his life.
Yeah,
If the
there
stuff
should be
they're
a
saying
rule
about
where
him is
he,
true, I hope he does.
yeah, where I think that the MLB should really give the money back for the for Wander Franco and at least have him put on a good team on the field. Like
yeah.
Yeah,
it's because what he signed like a 14-year deal
yeah, that's
or
right. That's
something,
right.
and like his first after his first year they did that.
Yep. Because that's what Tampa has to do to stay competitive is identify guys that are good and lock them up early. It's the only chance they have to be competitive. But boy, they did it with the wrong guy this time.
Yeah, I know I agree.
I think
It's
Bobby Bonilla's contract will actually be up before that one is.
I think so. Yeah,
Isn't Bobby Bonilla yet to like I think it's 2031. I think.
Yeah, okay.
something
So,
crazy
and
like
Wander
that.
signed a 14-year deal like 4 or 5 years ago, right, Jordan?
Yeah.
3 or 4 years ago, something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yep.
right about the same time.
Ah, that's so funny.
Okay.
So
Well, in the NL East, we were pretty clear on who the top two teams were going to be. We just were wrong on who we both picked. Al, we both picked the Atlanta, followed by Philly. Obviously, it was the other way around. And Jordan, who did you have winning the NL East?
I had the same thing as you guys. I thought Atlanta was going to be a lot better.
Well,
And
they
they
got
just got
decimated with.
destroyed by injuries. I mean,
Yeah,
that was, you know,
and it's still getting worse. Like they're saying that Acuna might not be ready until June of next year, and same thing with Strider. It might be June,
wow.
July.
Wow.
So yeah, this is going to be if I mean we have to see what Philadelphia and obviously the Mets do, but you might be looking at a third place team by the time we hit the All Star break.
Man, that's amazing, man. Yeah, that's tough. That is
I
tough.
mean, you think about it. Strider's arguably the best pitcher in baseball, and Acuna's arguably the best hitter in baseball.
Yeah.
They were both on the same team, and they both had season-ending injuries.
In the first week or two of the season, wasn't it? I mean, well, Acuna lasted about a month. Strider was real quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
And then they lost
I'm
their third baseman like halfway through the season. You know, I mean, it wasn't just those two either. It was a
yeah.
lot. And I have zero sympathy for the Braves. They've been a nemesis forever, but that's tough. That's tough to overcome.
No, but it did work out in the end though for the Landa. Like I'm gonna give credit where credit's due, because I know last time we did a podcast on Craig's, I mentioned that Schoolboy was a triple crown. Chris Sale became a triple crown winner in the NL, which his last couple of years I would not have think it would have happened.
No, he was like pretty average, and he was really bad in Boston.
He was,
Uh huh.
and he was injured. I mean, he pitched what, maybe half of the games he could have been available for in that time. I mean, he was
Yep.
injured so much. Like Boston fans must have just been just punching themselves in the face. Like, what the hell? We had this
Yep.
guy for 4 years. How long? 4 or 5 years or something, and he did
I
bupkis.
want to say he got
And then
there
and then he leaves and does that. They got
Un-
to be pulling their hair out.
I mean, he's in contention for the Cy Young. Like that's
He
crazy.
should win it.
I think he's the guy I would pick. I mean, he's right
Yeah,
there.
like
Wheeler's right behind him, I guess. But holy moly,
yeah.
bonkers.
Yeah, it's just insane to think about with that.
Yeah, it
Al.
really
So
is.
how the NL East shake out after that? After the Philly and Atlanta.
Okay, so the Braves and the Mets actually ended up tied record wise. I guess the Braves got the tiebreaker. Is that how it landed? Um, they were both 89 and 73, 6 games behind the Phils. And then the Nationals and Marlins were putrid. Marlins, one of the worst in baseball.
Right, and we both had Washington as coming in last place, and we were wrong. Well, I mean, yeah, Miami was actually in last, but they were both really bad.
Yeah, they were both hideous. Yeah. Yeah, this is a tough demand. This is like, I mean, this is a big time 3-team division moving forward. The
Oh yeah, because the Mets are going to outspend everybody.
Oh, no doubt about it. And the where is my little list here? Okay. The Mets had the highest payroll in baseball this year. 2 million over the Yankees. Phillies had the fourth highest payroll in baseball, and the Braves, five, six, seven, had the eighth highest payroll in baseball. So you had three of the top eight payrolls in baseball in one division.
Yep. And they're
And
gonna go, and they're all gonna up it this year.
I was just going to say, it's not getting any lower this year, that's for sure.
Yep.
And if one of them ends up with Soto, that number goes through the roof.
Well, the Steve Cohen is meeting with him this week, and him and Scott Boras, and then I think
Hal is going
ha,
there.
well, Hal and Boone are also going there too. I don't know
Yeah.
what Boone has to do with it,
They're
but
doing. They're going after he meets with Cohen, which is I think is a good thing. You could find out what he offered him and just say, well, all right, we'll offer you this, X amount more, and let's go.
yeah.
Yeah, and then in roughly March 30th, Boris will make a decision. And
Ugh, that's the
Yeah.
only thing I hope. I
The
don't think it's gonna get dragged out because I think all
what
of baseball is waiting to see what this deal is. To then, it's gonna basically impact all of baseball and all
what
of free agency after it's done. So I don't think it's gonna be long. I think he'll be signed before Christmas.
I hope so. That goes against everything Boris ever
And,
does.
and not only that, I think it might be before December. I think it's gonna be that quick.
I mean, I hope you're right. It's like
yeah.
that's like asking Pink Floyd to write a song under 5 minutes long after their entire career.
um
But I hope you're right, man. And listen, he's got it. There's got to be some pressure on Boris this
it,
year. And he doesn't give a crap about the media or us people, but he does care about the players because that's who makes his money. And he blew it big time with a few guys last year. One of them fired him, and so he's got to be feeling some pressure to get this done and in a timely and
Well, that's what I mean. I think once he meets with everybody, and all the meetings are happening early, because I've been hearing now the Giants want to meet with him and possibly another team or two, and they're
um
all doing it before December. They're all doing it like in this month, and I think once he meets with everybody who's interested, he's just going to make his decision, and that's going to be it. It's going to be quick. I really would be
what
surprised if it lasts all the way to like 2025.
well the other names that you did mention for to meet with Soto, uh I don't know I don't know if this is just one of those things where, like, I mean, every agent does, not just Scott Boras. Uh, but you have, they're saying that some names included are the Dodgers, Boston. One person said a sleeper pick will be Philadelphia, just because they got a lot of money coming off the table in the next couple years, and he is comfortable or still friends to this day with Harper and Turner, so they think that's where they can get the advantage
that would be
from.
fascinating.
Um, but also my point, because you were talking about the Mets, they have the most free agents out of any team. They have 14 free agents, to where someone was predicting their budget coming into the offseason is $138 million. So I can see them being aggressive, going after not only Soto, but they could probably re-sign Alonso. They could probably get one of an ace starting pitching
They
because,
could probably get Burns.
because look at the guy who's the general manager. He drafted Burns when Burns was in Milwaukee.
That's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
So it's a bunch of different things that are going into it, but I think, like you said, it has to fall on with Soto. I mean, I don't know if it happened before December. I think it'll probably maybe happen, a couple days in the winter meetings. Maybe he'll make his decision, but I mean, he's got to be more comfortable to where he plays. And I mean, he's done so well with the media being like, "Oh, where do you want to play?" And he's just like, "Well, I'm not ruling out anybody." So
Right, right.
he's not. It's not like a Pete Alonso where it's like, "Oh, Pete, what you gotta do? I want to stay with the Mets." Like, no, he's saying like, "I'm open to anyone and anybody."
It also
So
and it also means he's not taking a discount to go anywhere, right?
no, I don't think he will. I mean,
What do you
there's
guys
talk.
right now, real quick? What do you guys think the actual number is going to be? Again, I think we asked this before, but want to hit it again.
No, we did that on a
When
text. I don't think we ever did it on the pod, and I'm glad you brought it up because I like this question. I said 700 million on the text chain, but somebody whose number I didn't know said reminded me that Otani's thing is deferred, so that's a whole different deal. So I'm going to go 600.
give me years. How many years?
12.
12 years for 600 million is not gonna. I don't think that's gonna get it done.
Yeah, but I don't know. See,
How
I'm a
many?
little
What is
iffy.
that a year? 12. Is that 50 million a year?
I think so.
Yeah, that is. That's
Yeah,
50 million a year. Yeah, I could. You know what? Now that I think about it, maybe. But I'm thinking it's going to be more like 14 years, and it's going to be like 700 million.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, that's the exact same amount of years, so it could be.
What do you think, Jordan?
um, I don't know because the the one thing that I'm saying is like I'm going back to when he played with when they played Washington. He said he would like to end his career there again, or even play with them because he liked the young core. So, like, I don't know. I don't know. It's really hard because now rumors are coming out that the two big favorites, the Yankees and the Mets, are not willing to pay him $700 to $600 million. So I mean, if that's, I think if that's the case, I think it might be maybe 10 years. I'll say like 585. I think that's what happened. That's
For,
what people are saying are willing to pay. Is
wow,
less than 600, and
it's
both and
less than
these are
600, but it's like 58 a year.
yeah.
That's insane.
Yep, but the bar just keeps getting higher, so I wouldn't dispute it. Yeah,
See,
that's wild. Who makes the most per year right now? Other than, I mean, you can't count Otani because it's deferred, so it's a whole different thing.
Well, I mean, I don't know. That's because you also got
um,
the guys who re-signed, like Tatis signed. Bryce
what
Harper still got that major
what
contract.
is Judge at? 46.
I think something crazy like that.
I think he might be the highest. He's one of them. That's for sure. If he's not,
Yeah,
he's right there.
because like uh, Machado and Harper also signed those big contracts. I mean,
Oh,
both.
you want to hear crazy who it was in 2024? Now this is not moving forward, except for maybe one of these guys, but tied for second and third, who made the most money behind Otani this year, Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer.
And and that's why the Mets are such big players this year is because they both come off the board. They both come off their books this year because their contract. Because remember, they signed 2-year deals. They traded them after year one,
Oh,
and they
that's
paid almost all of year two, which was this past
So
year. So
so
now they have $80 million coming off.
woo. Wow.
okay. So then that kind of actually explains why Washington is because I think Max Scherzer was getting paid by three teams in 2024. He was getting paid by the Dodgers, Washington, and the Rangers. He was getting paid by three teams.
No, it was in the Mets.
Oh yeah, in the Mets, so four teams. Yeah, so that's probably why all these teams are now um being aggressive.
That is a trip. I didn't realize that the Mets were paying for them this year still. That's great. Wow.
The,
Yeah,
oh yeah, they definitely were, and because they were getting ripped for how much they're paying. They paid um, Texas to take Scherzer.
yeah.
That makes sense.
They they,
Absolutely. Wow.
they signed him to $40 million a year. They paid him the first year, and the second year they paid something like 33 of it.
Wow.
So Texas only paid $7 million to have him, but again, all that's coming off. They're done now.
Well, and Texas got about $7 million out of
I would say
Yeah.
definitely.
them.
So real quick, here's another little hot take. I'm nervous for the Yankees to sign Soto. Not nervous they won't sign him. Nervous if they do sign him.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I can kind of understand that, but elaborate, please.
Because I think if they do sign him, they're not going to be able to sign anybody else,
Boom, boom. That's the thing,
No.
and yeah,
and they're
and
going to lose everybody.
yeah, and your pitching staff is going to be exactly what it was, and yeah,
Who
that's a
else?
thing.
They're not going to be able to afford anybody else. I Now, if you can guarantee me this, then I would go the other way and say don't sign him. If you can guarantee me you don't sign Soto, but you sign Teoscar Hernandez and you sign Corbin Burns for probably almost the same amount of money it would cost for Soto, I would do that instead.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Give me Corbin
Well,
Burns and Teoscar Hernandez, and I would take that over Soto.
you know what? I was going on, and sorry to interrupt. I didn't mean to.
Oh no, you're good.
Here,
Yeah, you're
here,
good.
here are a couple guys I'm actually looking at for a plan B because the GM meetings happened around this week. They're actually one of the guys heavily aggressive on bullpen help. One name actually that came out is Carlos Estevez, who played for both the Angels and the Philadelphia Phillies. His names
Hmm.
came up. Tanner Scott, his name has came up for the New York Yankees. But also, I'm actually looking at this, and this is something the Yankees haven't done. I know the Dodgers do it a lot, but I'm more of a guy that I want to take a risk and give these guys some shots because most of the guys whose players have been declined are guys who could play multiple positions. And I want to know the Yankees should go after that. Like I'm looking at if you don't re-sign Soto, right? Dominguez has to play in center field. I 100%. I don't think he's not good in left field. I
Right.
know Judge is like this big guy. He's the captain. He wants to play center field. No, I think you got to get Dominguez. I would also go after Santander
Yes.
for a guy,
I would take
or
Santander
even
or Teoscar, and it was either one
or
of them. And then if they need to play right field, you can move Judge over to left.
or
That's fine either way.
or another option that's coming on because we're talking about. Well, this is how the order everyone's talking about: Soto, then Teoscar, then Anthony Santander. But one guy that I'm thinking this game off on a miss, and he had a phenomenal season with the Red Sox. Why doesn't anyone go after Tyler O'Neill? He had a phenomenal season with Boston. I will give him a shot. The dude actually. I feel like what in April between April and May, he hit a home run like every single game. You couldn't turn on the news and been like, oh well, Tyler O'Neill just hit another home run at Fenway Park. I mean, I'll give him a shot. And then another one I kind of want to see because I want to see him do good. And he is young. His option just got declined. And this is how to be the Yankees. It could be for anyone. Why does anyone take a risk on Yohan Moncada? He's a
Well,
free agent, switch hitter. Play first. He could play second. He could play third. I want. What's the worst that you done? That you signed him to a
well,
one
he
year
was
deal. Just
really
don't play.
bad. He was terrible. That's the worst thing is he's like not a major league hitter. He's
Yeah,
not hasn't been good.
I know, but
But
you
those
could
other
sign him to
guys,
like.
I would definitely take a chance on. Is there anybody else at third?
I mean, the only one that you could really
Is
do,
Bregman?
like, yeah, is Bregman. But Bregman is willing to move. They're saying to second base. Me personally, he's only played 2 games though, in second base. So I don't know if that would actually work. Um, because I don't know, like his most career is obviously third base, and then he's played a crap ton of games also at shortstop. But to play 2 games at second base, I don't know if I'll feel comfortable if I'm a contending team having him play there.
Yeah, I mean either.
You know,
Al, what are you thinking for Philadelphia in terms of free agents or changes that might be made?
Man, they have the largest committed payroll already heading into next year. So I don't know how active they're going to be active, but I don't think it's. I'd be stunned if they were really in the Soto thing. I wouldn't mind it, but I would be stunned. Where's that? Where's my little list here of the? Yeah, here it is.
Oh, no, go ahead, Al.
So they already have 222 almost 223 million committed to their payroll next year. So I don't see that rising a ton. So they're going to need to load up. They're probably going to load up on bullpen again and just hope that they have, four or five functional guys heading into the playoffs. I don't know. They're going to need a closer. I don't know if they bring the guy back from the Angels or not. He was okay. He wasn't a lockdown guy. He was decent. You know what I mean? So I'm fine if they let him walk if they have a better option. Um, they do need an outfielder. I mean, Soto would actually fit a need. You know what I mean? Because they have between Brandon Marsh and God, I stink with names. This guy who played center field that can't hit but is really fast.
Marsh.
The Marsh was playing left. It was the Latino guy who. Let me find it real quick. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're talking about the guy. Was he part of the deal with Baltimore, right?
No, that was yeah. No, he played. He was hurt most of the time after that trade. He didn't do a whole lot.
Oh, okay.
This guy was a homegrown prospect.
Oh, okay.
What the heck
Um,
is his
while
name?
while you do
Yeah,
while
go
you
ahead.
do that,
Sorry, guys. Johan
Craig,
Rojas.
Rojas. Yep. Okay.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say before you continue, other options for third base, because I ended up finding it. J.D. Davis,
Nope.
Gio Urshela,
It's
Nope.
Brian
bad.
Anderson,
It's
Nope.
bad.
Jace Pearson, and Luis Reyes. Those are
Paul
the
No.
guys.
DeYoung,
Yeah.
Brandon Drury, Enrique
No.
Hernandez. Like it's a barren wasteland.
Oh, actually, I mean, I know we're kind of all over the place, but another guy for first base, probably be a good move for the Yankees. Christian Walker.
Actually, I've heard them linked to him already. I've heard that they've already talked to Arizona or talked to his agent.
Oh, okay. That I mean, that'd be interesting for him.
He's a very interesting guy on the free agent market this year. I mean, I don't know.
He can hit.
He can really hit, and he's really come on his last 4 years or so after being just so he was okay for the first few years, but he's been very good.
He's a legit 30 home run guy.
Yeah, and I'm curious, like, where does between him and the polar bear, where does it break out money wise? Like, I mean, I think everybody's talking about Pete Alonso being the number one free agent first baseman, but Christian Walker's right there for me.
I would
Um,
agree. Also, another thing about the Yankees signing Soto, if they sign Soto, we're gonna have. I think
prospects.
DJ LeMahieu is gonna come back
Ugh.
if we sign Soto.
Oh, if you sign Soto, okay, I got it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think they will. They are. From what I've heard, if they re-sign Soto, he wants a chance to win. I don't think the Yankees are gonna give him that. Um, so if they sign him, this is from what I'm hearing by people who write for the New York Yankees. You're looking at a youth movement. There's someone saying that they signed Soto, Ben Rice is at first. You're probably looking at Oswaldo Cabrera at third, Jazz back at second base, and they're
Volpe at short,
most
and
like
then
they're
Wells
most they're most
at
likely
catcher.
gonna leave Dominguez and left field, which I think that's the wrong move.
Put him in center. Put Judge in left.
That's the
But
problem.
that's the
Judge
team, and
doesn't.
that's talk about that's a lot of faith in a lot of guys, lot of young kids. I mean,
Mhm.
Wells, Volpe, the entire infield. The entire infield will be like under 25 years old.
Yeah, yeah,
And um, Peraza might actually get some play too.
yeah, probably. I don't know. Did the whole thing? I mean, I
That's why I don't want. That's kind of why I don't want him, because if
yeah,
that's the case, that's not a winning team. That team's struggle big
I
time.
mean,
But if you
yeah,
don't sign him, you have other options. You can get better in other ways.
right. Which yeah, I mean, I think me and you texted about this. I'd rather have Plan B than Plan A.
I would
Uh,
too. But
I
the
mean
thing
that
is,
that
I'm worried that if they don't sign Soto, they won't do anything. They won't
And
do it.
yeah,
Yeah, that's not the best option then either. Yeah.
no.
Right, like if
I
they don't
mean,
sign Soto
to
and then they just
but
sign like a couple other like middling pieces and then it doesn't work out, and you end up with nobody that's all really impactful at all, then that's terrible too. It'll be like it was 2022 when they
yeah,
didn't really they had Judge and nothing else.
yeah, no, I agree. We'll probably get to it in a minute, but after the World Series, they need to do something.
Well, yeah, yeah. Anyway, Al, we were wrong again on the NL Central, the AL Central. Had Minnesota,
Yeah, that was one of the most disappointing teams of the year for me.
and where did they finish?
Oh, I let me get it back up here. My
I
apologies. One sec.
I want to say they finished fourth.
They finished. I believe they did. Let me just make sure. I got to flip over to
Yeah,
the
I think
AL
you're right.
here. Bum, 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 bum. Yep, fourth, and they were 2 games over 500 in fourth, behind the Guardians, the Royals. The Royals and Tigers tied for second, 86 wins. Guardians had 92 wins, and the White Sox were one of the. Were they? Did they break the record for the most
Yep.
losses? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Here's the thing too: is we had the Guardians in third, both of us.
That was a shocker to me. I did not see that coming personally.
Jordan, where did you have Cleveland?
I
Do you
had
remember?
Cleveland. I had Cleveland second behind Minnesota.
Oh my goodness! So yeah, we had
Yeah.
them. We had them in third place. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, just the strange division. White Sox were as bad as we thought they would be, and it doesn't seem like they're going to get any better next
Mm-mm.
year. I mean, maybe they can have a few more wins and get a little, making that move to be relevant again. But they're still going to be pretty bad next year. Kansas City, big surprise for me, huge surprise on the year they had. So that was kind of cool to see, though. And Detroit was kind of we gave them respect. We said they were going to come in second. They looked pretty good. They had Scooble, and he was just amazing. I think he's the hands down Cy Young winner.
I
And
agree.
yeah. Anything else to add on the AL Central before we move to the NL Central?
Um. No, I think when it's all said and done, to come into next year, I think we're gonna have the same results. There's I think Chicago's gonna sell. They're no hands doubt, like they're just gonna sell. They're gonna get rid of. I think they're gonna get rid of all the big guys that they have had. Um, which I think there's already rumors they're gonna get rid of Crochet. Uh,
Yeah.
Luis Robert is gonna be gone. He's done. Um, Maybe Benintendi as well. And then I think the same thing with Minnesota because there's rumors that they're looking to sell the team, and there's also rumors that Byron Buxton actually might be gone with Minnesota as well.
Oh. Well, none of that is a surprise at all.
Yeah,
No, I'm
but
with you on all that. Yeah, and
uh,
Byron Buxton can go play 80 games a year for another team.
yeah, and um, and then also Detroit. I like Detroit. I think they
I do
should
too.
spend. I think they should spend money. Actually, one thing I didn't notice, and I don't think I mentioned it to you guys. But did you hear the story about what AJ Hinch does before a game?
No.
Okay, so get this. I swear I can't make this up. So this was when they were playing the Astros in the postseason. Tim Kurchik over on ESPN, I believe he's the one who said it. It's either him or Michael K. It was one of them. But before a game, he plans what he's going to do before the game's even started.
Like what?
Like
What do you mean?
so he has a plan that if he's winning, this is his plan. If he's losing, he goes with a different other plan. He plans way before the game's even started. So he knows what he's going to do before the game, before first pitch, before the players are on the field. He's in his office and he just knows what he's going to do. Like game one, he didn't have, in the wild card, he didn't have his starting shortstop or his starting left fielder in the game. They came and pitched hit in the fifth inning. Like he planned that like 2 hours before the game even started.
Really?
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
That
so
is
he
interesting.
so yeah, a lot of people. So I actually gotta give AJ Hinge props
Well,
to
he's a
that.
great
He
manager. He just,
one
he
hundred
just
percent.
cheated.
But my
Yeah,
other
well, there's a
thing,
lot of planning involved in that, Craig.
Yeah, it's a lot of planning and cheating.
um, my thing with Detroit is they gotta keep their head all high. They did very very well this season, and I know it's a risk, but I haven't heard anything. This is just me coming up with them. I wanna link them to two veterans to help them out. And then yes, one of them you are taking a shot on, but I'm looking at maybe like a little reunion for the Detroit Tigers. Uh, they have a great outfield. They're so young, and these guys could hit. But I'm looking at maybe for a 1 year deal, maybe a 2 year deal. Bring in JD Martinez and help the because he could hit. Like right now, he's less of a power hitter, more of a contact guy. So he could help out the lineup. And then just for one more, probably maybe his last year, one more for the road. Bring in Verlander as like a fifth starter and help out the pitching and be like a player slash
Yeah,
coach
he,
for
he
the
he would
team.
definitely have to be a fifth starter though, because you can't count on him right now.
No, but I think it would bring more leadership to this team. Not
Oh
saying that
yeah,
they need it, but I think it would be a great way to do it and just be like, okay, not only is the pitching coach working with all these other guys, but now you have a guy who's been there, done that, been in the game for a long time. Hey, I saw you doing this, but you used to do this, or try this, something
yeah.
different.
All right, we got to move on. We're already at 46 minutes, and we're not even
Oh
through
shit.
half the teams, half the
Love
league. Um,
it.
all right, so Al, the AL Central finished. What was the order again?
Oh, so it was the AL West. Astros first, 88 wins. Mariners 85 wins in second. Rangers under, and every other team is under 500. Rangers, Athletics, Angels. Angels really bad. You got to be so bad to be worse than the A's. So it was a two-team division: Astros and Mariners.
Yep, I like the Mariners. They really had they had a good year, and I wanted to pick them over Texas. I just couldn't do it because Texas was coming off the World Series.
Yeah.
But I was not surprised at all that they had a good year.
Yeah, they had an epic collapse. I mean, their manager got fired in the middle of that year, which is
Yeah,
crazy that a
Yeah.
team finished 85 and 77 and got a manager fired. But they were in first place for 2/3 of the season, and then they just went in the tank. So if they can figure that out next year, I think they're going to be around for a while because I do like their young team. So,
yep, absolutely.
and I just anybody that can take out the Astros, I'm all for.
Me too. F those guys. Not a whole lot to say because, like you said, there's three teams under 500, and Anaheim and the A's, two of the worst teams in the league. Like you said, it's something to finish behind the A's. Anaheim, my God, they are in so much trouble. I know Trout is trying to be loyal and he keeps
I know.
saying he doesn't want to leave, but he's got to want to play for a winner at some point, even if it's towards the end of his career and he's not an everyday player anymore. He's got to get on a team with a chance. We got to see him in the playoffs, and he has floundered his entire career
Craig,
in Anaheim.
it makes so much sense for him to just come back to Philly. He's at every damn Eagles game. I mean, he is a Philly area guy. The Phillies need an outfielder. It makes so much sense. But man, and I hate, I don't want to pick on a guy for being something that is so rare in professional sports anymore, and that is being loyal. But holy crap, I just want to see the dude get into a postseason at some point in his life. And I mean, geez, there's a few teams out there other than the Phils that could do that for him too. But man, the Phillies make so much sense. It just he just won't let it happen. I don't know why.
Hey, Jordan, who did you have winning the AL West?
I ended up having Texas followed by Houston.
Which was
Okay.
understandable. Texas was one of the most disappointing teams in baseball this year.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think it had to be all the injuries. Uh, Seager was hurt. I think Simeon got hurt for a little bit. Garcia got hurt. The
Yeah,
whole team was just they were injury prone.
yeah. I think that they're a big candidate to have a bounce back year next year. I think.
I agree.
Well, maybe I don't know. They're still I don't know. Like they still need pitching,
Yeah.
and
Well,
they
I
need a
mean, we'll have to
couple
see
bats.
what they do in the offseason, but as of right now, I just think that just on health alone, they could have a better year.
Is
Oh
Jacob
yeah, no,
DeGrom still under contract with him, or is he a free agent?
I think he's under contract for at least another 3 more years.
Oh my goodness! Wow. Well, that'll be about the amount of starts they get out of him.
All right.
I can't believe anybody signed Jacob DeGrom to a long term deal. That's insane. I
Yeah, the
forgot that they
Mets.
did that.
Yep, the Mets did. Um, okay, well, we got to circle back to the NL Central.
Okay.
We never hit
Mhm.
that. How did that finish, Al?
All right, here we go. We got the Brewers in first, 93 wins. Nobody was close, but you had two teams over 500. The Cardinals and the Cubs both finished 83 and 79, 10 games back. And then the Reds, who another team that I think all of us thought were going to be better than they were, 77 and 85. And the Pirates, 76 and 86. So nobody in this division was awful,
No,
but
no, but we both picked Milwaukee to come in fourth.
yeah, I know, man. Yeah, they just let Burns walk. You know what I mean? So I was like, man, they weren't that good with him. How could they be better without him? And they sure were.
I had the Cubs and the Cards. You had the Cards and the Cubs. Then we both had the Reds. Talk about a disappointing team. They're one of the most disappointing teams for me.
Yeah,
Uh, and then then we both had Milwaukee, and then Pittsburgh, and Milwaukee ends up winning the division. But we also said, I remember when we picked this, this was one of the toughest divisions to predict.
yeah. We
Uh,
talked about how any of the four teams other than the Pirates could win. I remember
yep.
talking.
And Jordan, did you find this a tough division to pick at the beginning of the year?
Yeah. Um, I was way off. I actually had St. Louis first, followed by
Yes.
I gave the Reds way more credit. I actually had the Reds finishing second.
Well, between the top four teams, like Al just said, anybody could win the division. We wouldn't be surprised. It could have been any. You could have picked any order coming in, and it was a valid choice.
No doubt.
And this is just how it worked out. The Cards were so bad early, and then they came on later. The Cubs were kind of steady all year, but not great. But Milwaukee just came out of the gate. They were just so good the whole way.
Yeah,
Kind
they
of
were.
surprising they got bounced in the playoffs as early as they did.
Yeah, well, it's wild because this one of the themes of this year's playoffs was great relievers are combustible because both Devin Williams, if I could have any closer in baseball, it might be Devin Williams. Um, Now Clace had the season for the ages. Those two were two of the best relievers in the playoffs, and they both got torched.
you you always say Clace, and I always laugh. I'm
Oh, what
sorry.
is it? I always forget. What is it?
It's
Class A.
Class A.
All right. Well, you can church up Joe Dierte. He's class. Clace, come here. Oh, I love it. But that's crazy, right? I mean, these guys were, I mean, Class A had one of the best seasons in the history of baseball for a reliever, and he got torched, absolutely torched. And so did Devin Williams.
You're right. He did. He had an all time classic season, all time. That's one of the best ever. And then the Yankees just completely bounced him around
Yeah, the
in the
Yankees treated him
playoffs.
like he was just came up from Double A.
Well, for whatever reason, there's always teams that have a pitcher's number or the other way around. Like a bad pitcher is really good against a good team for no reason. The Yankees, for whatever reason, and throughout history, like his entire career, the Yankees have hit Class A. They've always hit him,
Interesting.
just for whatever reason.
That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Yeah, they sure did this postseason again.
Yeah.
Yep. And Devin Williams got bounced around by the
Yeah,
Mets, right? Yeah, the Mets bounced him around.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Milwaukee was going to win that series if Devin Williams pitched like Devin Williams.
Yep.
But he did not. And that's why
No,
relievers
no.
are like the toughest investment in baseball because even the great ones are up and down, you know?
Well, now, yeah, year to year, relievers are so it's a good word for it, combustible. I mean, one year a reliever can be great, and the next year just be awful.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's crazy. Sorry, go ahead, Jordan. Sorry.
Well, no, sorry, I was clearing my throat. But no, for example, look at Josh Hader. Last year he had a decent season, and this year, what, he didn't get his first save until what, May, June?
Yeah,
Josh
he did
Hader
not have
hasn't
a
been
good
the
year
same
as a
pitcher
whole,
for
right?
3 years now. Yep, Hader fell apart a couple years ago, and he hasn't come back to being the dominant Josh Hader.
No.
He is. I don't know if he ever will be again.
Yeah, and I was a big advocate for the Yankees to get him. I'm so glad that they didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild, man, because he was arguably the best, pitcher in baseball for a few years when they were using him as a swingman in Milwaukee before they made him the closer and having him pitch two innings at a time at times. I mean, he was one of the best pitchers, just any pitcher in baseball. But
Yep.
I mean, his ERA last year was 3.8. You know?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not a closer. You can't be a closer and have that. You know who I bet might do that, and of course the Yankees are going to depend on him. I would not be surprised if Weaver has a shit year next year.
Oh yeah. Well, he's. I mean, that was there's
His
not a
run the
whole.
last 3 or 4 months was unreal.
Yeah, no, he
Yeah.
took over that job. He did great,
His
but
ERA was just over 1.
yeah, no, I mean he was astounding. What is his first name?
Luke.
That's Luke.
Luke.
Luke
Luke.
Weaver.
Okay, that's what I thought because I pulled him up. Oh, the old picture. I'm like, wait a second.
You thinking Jeff Weaver?
Yeah.
Remember
Oh
remember
my
Jeff?
God. Oh man, the frisbee ball. What was that crazy? Remember the last couple of years he was throwing like 50-mile-an-hour curveballs and stuff. Oh,
He was
Jeff.
bad. Jeff Weaver had like one good year, and then it was garbage the rest of the way, and people kept giving him chances.
no
Well, yeah.
doubt, no
Him, him,
doubt.
him and his brother, Jared. Or
Yes, yes.
Yes. And now is Luke one of their sons,
no,
I don't know. Let's
I
see.
don't think so.
or like a nephew or something? He's got to be related to him, no?
Did to Jeff Weaver. Hmm. Um.
We gotta find the family history here.
I'm
Luke
looking.
Weaver.
Efforting.
No, they are not. He's not related to Jeff or Jared.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Kind of weird. You got the same last name. The ages kind of match up.
Is he
Yeah.
related to the actor Dennis Weaver?
He's related to no Weavers. I don't know
Yeah.
any
I don't
Sparrows.
think he, except for his mom and dad, which we don't know about. He's not related to any.
You're right. That's awesome.
Any of the famous Weavers.
Any of the
Yes.
famous Weavers? The Weavers of Southampton? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Luke, man, like, this guy, his career ERA is 4.85. So there is
Yep.
no way you can expect him to
Well,
repeat that.
well, the thing is, he was a starter, and he's just not a starter. You look at Mariano Rivera's ERA as a starter; it's like 5.
No, no doubt. No doubt. That's a fair point. Was this his first year full time in the
Yeah.
bullpen?
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll have to see, but I would not be surprised if he. Well, he's not going to do what he did last year, regardless, even if he's pretty good. But I would be surprised. They're not going to get a closer. You watch. They're not going to get a closer. They're going to count on him to be the closer, and then he's going to shit the bed.
Oh, man. Clay Holmes is out of there, right? He's a free agent.
No, is he? But they're
Yep.
going to bring him back. They love him. All right. Last division is the AL West.
Okay.
Easiest winner to pick. We all picked it. I'm sure Jordan, you picked the winner of this division as well, the Dodgers, right?
Yep.
Now, after the Dodgers, it did get interesting. Jordan, what was your order after the Dodgers? Do you remember, or do you at least remember who was in second?
Yeah. I think for what I did the Dodgers. Then I did Arizona, San Diego, San Francisco, Colorado.
That's exactly what Al picked. The
Yep.
exact order.
Exactly. That's
I
right
had
there with you, my friend.
I had San Francisco, San Diego. So all three of us picked San Diego in third. Then I had Arizona. Then I had Colorado. I was a little higher on San Francisco than I should have been. I had them in second. But again, it's kind of like the NL Central as well, where like after the Dodgers, the next three you could go in any order between Arizona, San Diego, and San Francisco, and again,
Hmm.
it would have been a valid choice.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and just so we have the standings, the Dodgers finished with best. They have the best record in baseball, right?
Yes, they did.
98
Yeah.
wins. And then the Padres, who were arguably, I guess, the team of the second half, one of them anyway.
Yep.
Excuse me.
100%.
And what a battle that shapes up to be for the next few years between them and maybe the Diamondbacks as well. Diamondbacks were awful for the first half of the season and somehow ended up with 89 wins. I'm still amazed that they got that far after their first half. Giants ended up 2 games under 500, and the Rockies are awful.
Yeah.
Yes, and San Diego. I was surprised that they didn't. I actually thought they were going to beat the Dodgers in the playoffs.
I
I
wouldn't have
thought they
been
had their.
surprised at all.
I thought
One,
they had their number.
I did so too, especially, um, no, it wasn't against the Dodgers. It was against the Braves. Michael King put on a phenomenal game.
Yep.
I thought they had a shot, but no, then the Dodgers are just Dodgers are Dodgers.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Well, that's going to be another interesting division. So those are our choices. So we ended up with in real life the Yankees, Cleveland, and Houston, right? Won the division.
Yes.
yes.
Houston as the division winners. Atlanta, or I'm sorry, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, and the Dodgers. Those are all the division winners. So then we ended up for the wild cards. What we picked was not right. I had the Yankees, Texas, and Seattle. Al,
Okay.
you had the Yankees, Texas, and Toronto.
Ooh.
Toronto was a rough. Toronto might have been your worst pick, but other than that, those are all valid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's that Toronto man. I don't that Toronto team. Whoo! Holy
Yep.
moly!
Uh,
Jordan, do you remember your wild cards or no?
yeah, I'm in the same boat with Al. I picked the Yankees. I picked the Astros, and yeah, I picked the Toronto Blue Jays because I thought they'd be better.
Yep.
Oh, because you had Texas winning the division, right?
Yes, I had Texas win the division.
All right, we both had them as wild cards, so they're the same. At least we all had them in. And then we had Philadelphia as a wild card, which was wrong. Arizona. I had San Francisco and St. Louis. You had Arizona and San Diego. Yours was better than mine because San Francisco and St. Louis were not good choices for me.
Yeah, not bad. I'll take it. You know, it's we were it's so all over the place with this stuff that any one thing that is right, I'll take gladly.
So, Jordan, do you remember what you had?
Yeah, I had Philly, Cincinnati, and Arizona.
Oh yeah, you were high on the Reds. We were too. Not that high, but we were both high. So I
Yeah,
don't know. The Reds they just need pitching, right?
Pitching,
That's the
pitching,
bottom
pitching,
line.
pitching, pitching, pitching. You got it. You got
yeah.
it.
I mean, I think it's what Hunter Green and
And no one.
someone. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
wow. I'm gonna find that what's on their pitching staff as we're talking because it is not pretty.
right.
Uh,
That was their downfall because they can hit. They can definitely hit the ball, no doubt about it. And they
yeah.
got some
Well,
exciting players hitting the ball.
you know what? Maybe it's their year. I mean, I know Craig. I texted you, Al. I don't know if you heard about it. They have a Hall of Fame manager now. We'll see what they do. Terry Francona is back with Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Oh, good old Terry. All right.
He is back with Cincinnati for 3 years. So
See, not only that is a Hall of Fame manager. In my opinion, the best. Like he's already as soon as he manages again, he's the best manager in baseball.
Oh, that's
He,
100%.
interesting.
I think he's the best manager in baseball by far,
I
Hmm.
don't.
bar
I don't
none.
agree. That's interesting. Tell me why.
Well, he has always done a good job. When Cleveland was nothing and didn't have these kind of teams, he built them, and he was still getting them in the playoffs every year.
Yeah, I
And
mean, but
then
that makes him the
and then
best
not
manager
forget,
in baseball.
don't forget about what he did in Boston.
Well, I mean, I don't have any of your Yankee managers that had $300 million payrolls on the top of my manager list either. Go back and look at what
Well,
he did in Philly. He was awful.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's the best. I would take him over. There's nobody I would take over him.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I've never heard that before. That's really interesting. Cool.
Really? I
Yeah,
heard that all the time. Like he's highly regarded. I've heard it on a regular basis that he's the best manager.
yeah, that's interesting to
Yeah.
me. I don't agree at all.
Who would you say is the best manager?
I'd have to think about it, honestly. I don't, the best manager thing, it's dicey. It's dicey. I mean, Terry won how many? What, he won 2 World Series in Boston
Yes.
Yep.
with a massive payroll. I mean, he did Bupkis in Philly with teams that ended up being good, by the way.
Yeah, but you could also kind of say, I mean, I know it's different, but you also could kind of put the same thing with Torrey. When Torrey was with St. Louis, he was nothing. He and when he went to the Yankees in '96, Yankee fans went to George and be like, "What the hell are you doing?" And look what he did for his time: 3 straight championships to a team that had an upcoming Jeter, Mo, Pettit, Posada. I mean, I know it's a little bit different, but it's kind of also the same. Like in Boston in '04, I mean,
Yeah,
the
but
big stars.
maybe Al doesn't think Joe Torre's that great of a manager. What do you think of Joe Torre, Al?
It's not that I wouldn't put him at one of the best ever.
See, and
Uh,
that's another thing. He's also regarded as one of the best ever.
yeah, and again, never did anything without the biggest payroll in baseball ever.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you could have a case for whoever,
But the
but
thing is, it's
yeah,
very hard to do because all the best managers and all the best coaches in the leagues, they always have great teams.
I know.
Like like Phil Jackson's regarded as one of the best NBA coaches, but he had Michael Jordan, and then he went to the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe.
See, that's kind of what I'm saying. I mean, I think these two guys
but then
examples you just gave me are in that kind of conversation. To
would
me,
you
oh, go ahead.
would
Sorry.
no, I was gonna say then would you consider Bruce Bochy because he kind of really didn't have anything with the Giants. His
Bochy,
only start,
I would regard a lot higher because he did it with a team with way less of a payroll. Absolutely, Bochy might be the best manager in baseball to me right now, although he's
Yeah, but
coming off not his
I
best season.
I don't think just because you have a high payroll means you're can't be a great manager.
No, I agree with that, but there's no evidence to the contrary because none of these guys you're naming did anything with anybody else.
Right? Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. Like you
that's
Listen,
said
I'm
at the
not telling you
beginning.
Terry Francona and Torrey are not good managers. Absolutely, they are. That would be silly. But it's just a tricky conversation. It's a nuanced conversation because, especially back in the Torrey era, when the Yankees were paying everybody by 2 or 3 times, until Boston caught up to them finally. Yeah, I can't say that for sure.
Right, right. But it is tough to do because not too many managers do it with nothing. Because everybody who's regarded as a great had great play. Bill Belichick's the greatest coach ever. We only had Tom Brady.
Well, I'll tell you who one of the best managers in baseball the last 20 years is to me, and that's Joe Madden. Joe Madden did without money every year.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but he
that's
didn't do anything. What did he do? He made them relevant and made them playoffs, but they didn't win anything.
but but he did do something with the Cubs though.
Yeah, he
The
did.
the Cubs
But
really
the Cubs
didn't.
were very good then.
Yeah, but I
They
wouldn't
were already
consider
going to be
because you
very
also
good.
had John Lester and John
See, I've
Lackey.
never been a Madden guy. I don't think he's that good. I'm not a big Madden guy at all.
Well, you
But
threw that Frank. People say that about Francona to me. Everybody says it about Joe Madden.
right, right. So there you go. So you know what? We're not going to get to the bottom of this at all because
Right, right, right.
there's too many nuances and there's too many
But it's a fun
conditions and things.
conversation, and I don't think anybody's like stupid here. You know what I mean?
Right, right, right,
Right,
right.
yeah, yeah.
I think we're all talking about very good managers. You know.
Yes, I would definitely agree on that. Okay, so I ended up with the Orioles and Dodgers in the in the World Series, and you ended up with Atlanta and the Yankees, Al.
Yeah. Well, that Atlanta thing went out the window with those injuries for sure.
Well, so we both got one right.
Yeah. Well, hey, 50-50 ain't bad. Hall of Fame batting average.
Jordan, who did you have?
Oh, geez, you guys got one right. I had none. I actually kid you not. I actually had Philly in Baltimore.
Oh,
And it was reasonable. That was completely reasonable.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they were right there. They were there.
I
No
wish
doubt
you'd
about
been
it.
right. Who
I
did you
do
have
too.
winning, by the way, Jordan?
I actually had Philly.
I really wish he'd been right.
I swear I really thought this was Philly's year. I don't know what the hell happened.
Oh
The
man, it
Mets.
was
You
one
know,
of those
yeah.
things, man. Yeah, that's just one of those
I
things.
hope I'll make it quick. I hope they actually do something. I mean, they introduced a new general manager this year or a couple days
Don
ago.
Mattingly's son.
Yep, he's the new general manager of the
By the
Phillies.
way, I didn't even know Don Mattingly's kid was involved in baseball at all. Never
No
mind.
clue, dude. It's
Yeah.
my team. I didn't even know he worked for him.
You know what the funny part is? He's actually been in the MLB for a while because he was an assistant for the San Diego Padres before he went over to Philadelphia.
But was he the assistant of the traveling secretary?
I think he started small and then he became
Jordan's too young to get that joke.
Yes, it's understood. That's
yeah,
an old
um
head Seinfeld reference. Ken Phelps. Give me Ken Phelps.
When
um
Jordan, do you know anything about Seinfeld, the show?
kind of sort of I don't know.
At one point, George became worked for the Yankees, and he was the assistant to the traveling secretary. So whenever I hear assistant, immediately my brain goes to the traveling secretary. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
I
Um
love it.
no,
I
but
love it.
I think then when Dombrowski came over, he brought over Mattingly to help him out. I think he was like the assistant for Dave Dombrowski, who's the president for the Phillies.
Yeah, the Phils
Right.
have a real well-oiled machine going right now. The reason this position became available is because one of my favorite stories in front office in the last 5 years or so is Sam Fuld was their GM, who was the speedy outfielder for the Cubs 10 or 15 years ago. Remember Sam Fuld and
Yes.
or Fold, however you say it, or full day. And he went. They paid for him to go to Wharton Business School and learn more about the business side of baseball. And now he's switching over to that sort of side of the operation and sliding in Mattingly's son where he was. So this is a fascinating thing here. Nobody got fired. Nobody
Do,
was. But it just adding to their whole good organization they have running right now, which is wild to me growing up with what I grew up with the Phillies organization. It's very cool to see.
do we know what this kid's name is? Because we keep saying Mattingly's son because I
Oh,
don't know his
I
first
had it.
name.
I think
I had it.
it,
I hope it's Matt. That'd
It's
be
in our
great.
text chain. Let me see if I can find that. Matt
uh,
Mattingly. Yeah.
I want to say it's like, is it Peyton or something?
That sounds right, actually.
I want to say it's Peyton Manley.
Really?
Preston. You were close.
Preston. Okay.
Very close. Preston Mattingly.
Oh, okay. All right.
Heh.
Very interesting. Okay, so you had Philly winning it. Al, you had Atlanta beating the Yankees, and I had the Orioles beating the Dodgers. So none of us had the Dodgers winning the World Series.
Well, you got closest.
Well, no, but not only that, but we also we were that's a valid choice. Well, first of all, it's valid because the teams are good, but because the Dodgers, no matter how good they are, they always choke it away. This was the first time that they didn't.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's legit. That is absolutely freaking legit.
Every year they go in there and they're an absolute monster, and then they, just dip out early in the playoffs every year.
It's funny because we ended up not really doing when we did our kind of end of season heading into the playoffs MLB thing. We didn't really go through and pick every playoff series, but I did it ahead of time, not sure if we were gonna do it. And the first time I did it, I picked the Dodgers to win the World Series, and then I was like, "What are you doing, dude?" And I did it all over again and ended up with a Phillies Yankees World Series.
Yeah, if they just skip from the fourth inning to the sixth inning, the Yankees would have won.
Yeah.
That's all. Because I tell you what, if they had won that game, if they didn't make all those errors and basically just give the World Series to the Dodgers there, I think they were going to win They were going to do the four in a row.
It wouldn't stun me. I mean, that was one of the craziest ways to lose a game I've ever
Well,
seen. So yeah,
well, because they would have had all the momentum.
yeah. I mean, it was the pressure firmly on the Dodgers' back.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I think if they had won that, then I think it would have all really come down to Game 6. Because if you win Game 6, it's over. If you're the team down in the series and you win Game 6 to force a Game 7, usually you're going to win it. Like when the Yankees lost to Boston and
Hmm.
they were up 3-0 and they lost Game 6. I'm like, I don't even want to watch Game 7 because
Right. Yes. It
there's
just
no
it's a
chance.
yes. I'm with you 100%. 100%. Whew.
So anyway, well, that's our baseball wrap up.
I love it. That was fun.
Okay, so coming up here, Jordan, do you have any idea when you want to get to catchers on your position by position show on your podcast, The Baseline?
Um, I would say whatever is good for you guys whenever you guys are ready. Because I already have my list because I've done this before. So
Oh,
I
that's
was
great.
so whenever you guys make up your list and give me the old hee ho,
I
we're
love it.
ready.
I love it. Well, I'll
We're
be
ready
ready. I
to
mean,
record.
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I
I
was
was
saying
just,
then.
oh, okay, go ahead. Sorry, Jordan, go, you go, you go.
I was saying then we'll be ready and record that podcast.
Okay, yeah. I'm thinking maybe in a couple weeks. What do you think? 2 weeks from now?
Yeah,
That
that'd be good.
that's perfect for me. Yeah, too much to do
Okay,
the. Yeah,
so
that sounds great.
anybody listening, make sure you guys check out the Baseline podcast, first of all, for all the baseball that's on there anyway. But Jordan does position by position, the all time best top 10 at every position. And we are going to participate as we did with third base and shortstop. We're going to participate in the next one, which is catcher. And that will be in a couple weeks, probably 2 weeks from today. And today is Monday, what is it, November
Uh,
10th? Well, 11th?
11th. Yep.
November 11th. So figure around the 23rd or
Yeah,
so.
that sounds great to me, man. I'm already having fun, kind of doing some preliminary thinking about this and stuff. So yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait. And
Okay.
I have one question I'd like to ask you guys before we end this thing, whenever the time is right.
Yep.
All right. Well, the last thing I want to mention real quick is we're going to get back on here for this podcast. Probably, how long do you think it's going to be before the free agents really start to drop?
Who?
I
Probably
would
mid
say
December. What do you think, Jordan?
yeah, I'll say that because you know, again, I was listening. Next week actually is the awards ceremony, and that usually when business bucks picks up is after all the winners go on. So I'll say by maybe, or actually, you know what? Maybe after Thanksgiving, I'll say that that's when business will actually really pick up.
All right. So we'll preliminary say like early December then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds reasonable. Absolutely, cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, and if it's really just a barren wasteland, we'll hold off and we can just stand by for announcements on that. If it's just nothing is happening, and obviously if Soto signs between now and then we'll definitely do it. But
Love
Oh
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
perfect.
so what is your question now?
Okay, so it ties into this, and we can see who, if anybody was right when when we do our December thing. Uh, First big name free agent to sign.
I still say it's Juan Soto.
Okay, okay, Jordan.
Yeah, I say Soto as well. I think they're all waiting for him.
All right, I
Yeah,
love it. I hope you guys are right. I really do.
I think the market is waiting,
Yeah,
is gonna be on a standby until he
Yeah,
signs.
yeah, it's gonna be the same thing as last year. They all waited for Otani, and once that domino fell, all the other ones started to fall.
no,
Yeah,
it makes sense.
when did Otani sign?
He signed he signed way before the winter meetings, I believe.
Didn't he sign? Yeah, he signed in December. I'm thinking the same time frame.
Yeah,
Is Scott Boras Otani's agent?
no,
Okay. So we have the Boris factor here, and I just hope it doesn't become too big a factor. So I'm gonna
the,
go. I'm gonna. I think you guys have a very good point there. But is Scott Boris Corbin Burns' agent?
Yes.
yes,
Is Scott Boris not the agent of any big name free agents?
No. I
not
think
that I
he's the
know.
agent of all of them.
He,
Then I'm
here,
going
here,
with you guys. I'm going Soto too. Then.
here's the thing. He's Soto's agent. He's Alonso's agent.
Oh wow.
Bregman's agent. Willie Adames' agent. Uh, Blake Snell's agent. Corbin Burns' agent.
Ugh.
Well, that's
Blake
the other thing too is
Snell
he's got to
kept him
get all
after
these
last year.
deals. He's got to get all these deals done. So he's got to get on the ball here. And if everybody's waiting for Soto to sign, he can't sign Soto in February and then have like 3 weeks to get like 5 more deals done. He's
Yeah.
going to have to get it done earlier.
No,
I honestly, truly believe they are all waiting for Soto to sign. No,
I
the
think
market
that's
is going to be dead until he signs.
I think that's what they're going to do. And I think there's me personally. I think there's four teams involved. Uh, I don't say five like these
Who's the
writers want
fourth,
to
Jordan,
say.
with the two New York teams and the Giants? I'm assuming you're having there.
I have so I do have the Giants. I mean, but I don't know. It's hit or miss with the Giants.
Well, they're still pissed they didn't get Judge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no doubt.
but also you're looking at it. You got a new GM, plus you got a new president of baseball operations. I don't think they're gonna
Well,
do
that's a hell of
anything
a way to
big.
make a splash. But
Yeah, but I don't
sometimes
think they're
the
gonna.
guys want to do that. Want to do something big when they first get on board.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe the Giants will surprise us because, like I said, the baseball operations is Buster Posey, guy who played for them. Um, so maybe something happened. But I still cold-heartedly think because we're hearing these news about all these teams, I still cold-heartedly think the Phillies are in play. We haven't heard much about Philly, but we know that the owner is still like he's still to this day, a month later, is ticked off that he lost in the
Well,
division series. And
Al's our
I,
Philly guy, and Al said he'd be shocked.
Well, here's the thing, and I would love it. I mean, I wouldn't mind it at all. It's not my money, so just go ahead and
well,
spend it. But here's the thing: Dombrowski came out and said we have enough stars. We're not looking to add stars. Now, hopefully, he's playing poker. I would be because I hope they do. Even if
but
it's not Soto, I hope there's a star added in this offseason. But so I don't know. I don't know if he's playing
but
poker, if he's being honest, but he has come
he,
out and said we have enough stars.
I think he has to be because if you look at the years to come, JT Realmuto is a free agent after this year. Kyle Schwarber and Castellanos and Brendan Marsh are all free agents after the 26th season, I believe. So there's a lot of money coming off the books. You got to do something. I think they have to. They got to get that big star, and I believe so. It will make. That'll make. I think that lineup will be with Soto will be the most will be compared to the Dodgers, because no
Now,
one's going to do that. You have that big star player. I would rearrange it. I don't think I'll put Schwarber at leadoff. I think I'll do Turner, Soto, Harper, then Schwarber, Real Muto, Castellanos, like something along those lines. It'll be dangerous. And then you have the two starting pitchers up in the rotation.
Yeah, listen. I won't argue with that. It would certainly make them a better
Because
team. And the nice thing is their starting pitching is pretty good, so they don't have to worry
yeah,
about spending a ton of money.
because it's either the Phillies where it makes most sense, or people are saying, "Oh, he's gonna go to Toronto." When the hell has Toronto ever done any?
Toronto, good
Yeah,
lord.
Toronto. They're saying it's in mix
yeah,
because they were in the mix. They
Toronto's
were
a big player apparently in it.
That's because they were a
I
big
didn't
player
realize that.
when yeah they were a big player in Otani, and they think. I mean, I don't know who I did. I think the ownership is minds are need to be screwed on a little tighter, but they think with if they get Soto, they'll have the same chemistry with Soto and Vlad, but I highly doubt that. Vlad is not good.
Yeah, I think Vlad's way overrated. I'm not a big fan of Vlad. I got one more thing, and then we'll wrap this right up for sure. Quick, quick answers, 30 seconds or less. Who gets Soto?
Mets.
Mets.
Probably the Mets.
Damn it.
I did not want us all to say the same thing, but yeah, that's what I'm
I
thinking. I'm thinking once he meets with them, they'll just say, "Listen, whatever your highest offer is, increase it by however much you want, and we'll pay it."
Yeah, I think
It wouldn't surprise me.
because
If his
in
highest
my
offer is 680, they'll say we'll give you 720.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't
yeah
surprise me at all. And they have the money to do it. They have a ton of money off their books this year, like we were talking about.
yeah,
So,
but in my mind they'll have to do more than just Soto, but I think they will anyway. But I think he goes to the Mets. It's
But I do think
very
they
simple.
lose Alonso. I don't think they're going to sign Alonso back because I think they're going to put Vientos at first and then they could go to try to maybe make a play for Bregman at third.
Who would you rather
Or
have, Alonso or Christian Walker?
Christian Walker.
Jordan?
I want to have Alonso as a guaranteed 30 and 100 guy.
Yeah, but he's very up and down. I think Walker's a little bit
Yeah,
steadier.
I don't know. But actually, I mean, I know you said
But you know what?
36,
They're both great choices. I won't complain about either one.
but I do got a scenario for the Mets. So Robinson, because McNeil's back, you move Vientos to first. McNeil's your third baseman, and then you sign Willie Adames to play your second base.
You can do that too, and that'd be a
I
lot cheaper than Bregman.
Yeah,
Yes. And his stats didn't plummet after getting caught cheating.
Right. So we do also believe that if they sign Soto, Alonso's gone.
Yes, 100%.
Because I think if they don't sign Soto, Alonso will be back actually. But if they do sign him, he's
I
gone.
don't know. I think Alonso will be. I think they have they get both because Alonso's not good. He's projected to do 125 million.
Well, I thought, yeah, it's like 30 million a year, right?
Yeah, so I think they get both.
I mean, they could definitely afford it, obviously. All
Yeah.
right, it'll be very, very interesting. But that's going to wrap it up. That's our end of season pod, our predictions, where we went wrong, and a little bit of look into free agency and what's going to happen in the future. We will be back in about a month or so, early December. Check it out. Make sure you check out the baseline, and we'll be on that as well. Me and Al will be joining in to go over the top 10 greatest catchers of all time. And if you missed it, we already did the top 10 greatest third baseman and shortstops of all time with Jordan. So check those out. You guys have anything else to add?
I'm good. This was a blast. Thank you for having me as always. And yeah, can't wait for the catcher one.
Yeah, no, this has been a blast. Thank you for having us, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
No doubt. And Al, tomorrow we do the football.
Yes, sir. And I don't think we have much to talk about.
Yeah, sure.
Another boring week in the NFL,
Yeah, right.
right?
So don't forget to check those out as well. Those come out Tuesdays and Wednesdays. The review of the previous week and the preview, which will be week 11, by the way.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. All right. Until then, guys, thank you once again for joining me, and I will see you later.